There we go. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to LOCAC's Land Use meeting for February 5th, 2024. Going to start the meeting here with a roll call to make sure we've got enough here for a quorum. So Molly Brown.
Here.
Here, okay. Lindy Owen.
Here.
Okay. Julie Tacker.
Here.
Okay. I don't see Becky McFarland or Jacob Taylor.
I just sent her an email to remind her. So
Okay,
she
so
might be,
it might show up a little bit later.
yeah.
Okay. For all the public members out there, everyone is muted on this microphone. And if you need to say something, either raise your hand in the video part or at the bottom of the screen, there's a thing you can click on that can raise your hand.
Reactions.
Reactions, thank you. And then we'll be able to unmute you or we'll recognize you and then be able to unmute you and you can have your talk to us. So that's the roll call instructions, chairperson announcements. I just hope everybody's safe and dry from that storm we had yesterday and the power outage. I drove through town noontime-ish. It was a ghost town, not a car in the parking lot, anywhere, not on the roads, not kind of spooky. But I guess, no power, no, you can't do anything. So
It's good that people were staying home.
yes,
Good for the, reduce accidents, make less work for the emergency responders. It was really good, I thought, that people kind of really hunkered down. I think people had, quite a bit of notice that this was coming. And, I think a lot of people did really well just to stay home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Okay.
And now it's mostly over.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. So that's chairperson announcement. Any committee members have any announcements or anything going on they want to talk about or say?
Nope.
We do have elections coming up for LOCAC. If anybody knows anyone who wants to join LOCAC or get elected, and I need somebody else in my district here, there's an empty seat. Put the word out there, any of your friends or anybody who wants to join.
Larry, do you, I don't remember offhand which are the districts that are going to have elections, which neighborhoods? Do you happen to know?
I don't have that in front of me. I know my district,
District 3.
District 3 has an opening. Will have elections. I don't know the other two. It's on
Okay. I can look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Website. Okay, next we have public comments for items not on the agenda. If you have anyone out there in the public that would like to say something to the committee here, raise some awareness or point out what's going on or anything.
I'm on a land use.
I didn't hear that.
I think she's on the phone.
Oh, somebody's, talking in the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
No public comment.
I don't see anybody there. We need to, excuse me, approve the minutes for the January 8th meeting. I hope everybody saw they were on the website, the minutes for the meeting. And can we get somebody to make a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, we have a second.
Shoot him a quick text or something.
I'll second.
Okay,
I'll second.
all those in favor of accepting the minutes?
Okay, my dear. Oh,
Julie, I'll take you voted for that.
okay.
I'm a yes.
I don't know about Lindy. We got three yeses. There, Lindy, do you vote to approve the minutes?
I do.
Yes, okay, it's a majority.
Unanimous.
And yes. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is lot line adjustments. And I see Beverly Pratt is here. And I don't know, that's Oasis that's here. I also see Emily from Oasis. I'm gonna ask you to unmute. And Beverly, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Hi, I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay. Emily, would you like to tell us a little bit something about this lot line adjustment?
I think Emily has a really good presentation that kind of shows what we're doing. I think hopefully most people here know that we've been with, my dad's been involved in this property for over 50 years, and we unfortunately lost him about 5.5 years ago. So, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
sorry to
you.
hear that.
So I'm gonna let Emily take it away.
Yeah, okay. Emily, let's see.
If you're able to allow me to share my screen, I do have
Uh,
some.
Let me check that. Share screen. There we go.
Can I get Emily's last name for the minutes?
Sure, it is EWER.
Okay.
Yep. Emily, did that work?
I think so. You let me know if you
Yep,
can.
yep, there we
All
go.
right, there we go. Okay. Good evening. Hopefully everybody is staying dry. My name is Emily Ewer. I am with Oasis Associates, here representing the Pratt sisters. So the lot line adjustments is residential suburban zone just north of Cabrillo Estates. There are 4 existing legal parcels, and so the lot line adjustment is reconfiguring those existing properties and reconfiguring the lot configuration. So there's no new parcels, it's not a subdivision, it's a reconfiguration of those 4 existing lots. There's no development proposed with this lot line adjustment, so any future residential suburban development would be subject to the coastal land use ordinance, Estera plans, and any of the other applicable development standards and regulations.
Can I ask a question? Why, if there's 4 legal lots, why is it showing 5?
So these are shown APN numbers. So while it shows 5, we have certificates of compliance for 4. So we have, in this case, you can see, I'll go to the next slide. We have parcel
Okay.
number 2 actually has 3 APNs associated with it. So while there's 3 APNs, it is only 1 legal parcel. So this is the existing configuration of the parcels, fairly irregular, variable sizes, anywhere from less than a ½ acre up to 60 acres. And then with the proposed lot line adjustments, it consolidates 3 of the parcels into 6 and 3 acres over in the east side of the property extents. And then parcel 4 is the larger parcel at 108 acres. And then let's see what's right. So, and this lot configuration of these 3 to 6 acre parcels are consistent with the residential suburban land use designation of being over 2.5 or 3 acres. This clustering over on the terminus area of Rodman is one of the flatter sections of the property. So those are clustered in the least steep area of the property. And then with the lot line adjustment, there is an access easement proposed from the terminus of Rodman right now across the properties to provide legal access as well as utilities if in the future development is proposed.
Emily, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can you go back to that one? Okay, so parcel 4. So is parcel 4 between Cabrillo Estates and Montaña de Oro?
Essentially, yes.
Okay. But that's like within the Los Osos boundary or outside the
Yeah.
park boundary, I guess?
Yes, it's outside the park boundary. So
Oh,
the
I see.
urban reserve line is right here. So these
Oh, okay.
within the URL.
Okay, thank you.
So really, that was my presentation. I think it's fairly straightforward, hopefully, of rearranging the deck chairs as it were. And, you know, welcome your feedback and we'll proceed from there. Lot line adjustments are typically ministerial, but in the coastal zone, they do go to the county subdivision review board for review and approval.
Emily, the only question I have, back in 2015, they tried to do a lot line adjustment and put one on either side, I think. Now they've got it all 3 of them connected together there. Is there a reason for the change or anything?
I think it was after reevaluating the 2016, which that one, there was never an official action taken on that. It kind of paused. And then this really is kind of the restart of that. And so there wasn't any change other than it seemed to make more logical sense to cluster the parcels in the flatter area of the property and really do kind of that consolidation of the smaller lots rather than kind of.
Yeah, no, I think it's a better plan.
The reason is that, yeah, we had a chance to revisit the concept and idea between 2016 and now and decided this was a better configuration.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I somewhere in the back of my mind, and so I looked through my computer and remember seeing this back in 2015. So that's it. Julie, I see you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I have a question. You say that it's the flatter part of the property. What are the slopes there?
Slopes there for the parcels 1 through 3 here. These 2 are 17%, so 2 and 3 are 17%, and 1 is at 23%. So that's average slope across the entire property.
Is there, Larry, did you want to take public comment and then have our comments, or?
No, let's put in our comments first, and
Okay.
then I'll open it up to the public.
Can I go ahead then? I got a
Yeah,
few.
go ahead,
thoughts.
finish.
A question is that because this extends Rodman so far, it seems like there'd be quite a bit of disturbance to that habitat and that area, and then the topography does drop off significantly at the end of Rodman. And, you know, I'm just thinking about fire trucks and trying to get down there and get back out of there. And then again, it's not, I know the people in Cabrillo want another exit. This doesn't help them at all. Did you consider, and I think, just moving lot lines to put 2 lots down off of Vallejo, that's much lower, and I think it's not as steep. And then maybe 1 at Alamo and 1 at Rodman. I'm just trying to find a way to have less disturbance and less impacts on the neighborhood. So anyway, that was kind of my question, kind of my idea of how to maybe approach the using the lots more sensibly or friendly to the environment and the neighborhood. Do with it what you want.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Lindy, I see you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I think I wanted to, I like Julie's suggestion because I think in a emergency situation, extending Rodman that far out, I wondered if that is inclusionary to the homeowners association, that the Cabrillo Homeowners Association, I think. Are they good with extending Rodman that far and adding the extra traffic, which won't be that much, but that's one point. And I was also concerned with the what it was listed as a proposal for 3 houses. And I'm wondering if those, I know everything that I read, that this was only about a lot line adjustment. The housing issue would come up some other time. But it is proposed to have 3 houses on it, is what it looks like. So, and then my last point would be, would there be any consideration of donating the remaining land to the park system to continue our green belt? Is that even a question to ask as a mitigation?
Or even a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Emily, do you want to answer that question or just taking comment now?
Probably to clarify, we aren't proposing any houses. The residential suburban land use category, of course, would allow for residential housing, but development of such is not proposed. The donations to the park system and mitigation, I think that would be something that in the future of time of developments or considering that, it would be separate from this lot line adjustment of that property. I'm not going to speak for the Pratts, but I don't know that donation of property is in the consideration at this point. As far as it becoming some sort of open space in the future, that's something for the future to consider. But that's not part of the lot line adjustment proposal at this time.
Have the Pratt family or you as a representative been involved with, reached out to the whatever homeowners association is up there?
That is
Do they
not-
know that this is in process?
Yeah, that has not happened yet. We are still at the county. We are still responding to the county's 30-day review letter. So we're still in the process of having our application being deemed complete. So
So does that like automatically come into play as the development project moves, or as the project moves forward, that they a homeowners group would be notified for something like that? Or is it just something that sometimes happens and sometimes doesn't?
I'm not certain at this point. We would need to double check that. The subject property itself is not within the Cabrillo Estate subdivision. As far as Rodman Drive and the responsibility therein, that's something that we can confirm and coordinate it as needed.
And I assume Rodman is a public street, publicly maintained street by the county?
If I may, I'll answer that question.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, it is. And also, when we did the application in 2015, 2016, when we had a more complete project, we did contact the HOA and
Okay,
notified homeowners in the direct area and had a meeting down at the schoolhouse in Los Osos.
okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions from any board members? Okay, I'm going to open this up to the public. Is there anyone in the public like to make a comment or say anything about this project?
No, you don't turn into a winery. You can fill it.
I'm not seeing any hands up or anything, so I'll take it, no public comment. Anyone on the committee like to make a motion about this lot line adjustment? Don't all run in. I will make a motion that I don't see anything against this. It's just a lot line adjustment. I think when or if it ever moves forward is the time to bring up a lot of the issues of the and stuff, but now is not the time for that. All they're asking for is a lot line adjustment. So I think land use would support this application. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Molly will second.
Molly will second. Show of hands, all in favor? There's Molly. Julie?
I'm a no on this configuration.
Okay. And Lindy?
I think I'm going to abstain until I have more answers to whether Rodman Drive is designed to be continued. I think there's still a lot of issues, and I do think that the remaining space could be a mitigation factor to consider. And it would be a positive to the community.
Okay. So
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to
Go
say,
ahead.
let the record show that two members supported the project, one opposed and one neutral to the project. And we'll forward this information on to LOCAC for their January 25th meeting. Let them decide where they want to go with that.
Mhm.
Bev and Emily, are you okay with that or?
Yeah, that's fine for us. We've taken notes and comments, and so we'll prepare accordingly.
February 25th. I think you said January, Larry.
We appreciate your attention and thank you so much for meeting with us tonight.
Yeah, Bevan, good luck
Thank
on
you.
this. I'd like to see it, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well, we'd
Okay.
like to see something happen. It would be nice, but we know we have a long road to go.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
The next project we have coming up then is Verizon Wireless putting up cell tower. Let me see. I wasn't sure is somebody here from Verizon Wireless? I don't know if that. I didn't have a contact and the county or Claire Mumberger said she would get in touch with the county. So again, I'm asking somebody here to speak for Verizon Wireless. you gotta let me know some way or another, smoke signals or paper towels or,
Hands up.
uh, okay.
Did they say they were gonna be here?
Claire, I had the wrong contact, and so I contacted Claire Mumberger, and she said she would get in touch with them and let them know. And so that was the only one I didn't
Hmm.
have.
So it looks like it's kind of right behind or on Los Olivos, right by that Central Coast Auto House, kind of behind the grocery store where
Yes, it's
Grocery
behind.
Outlet and Miners is on that next street behind there.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, it's in the dirt lot that's behind Grocery Outlet and stuff. And from the,
Oh, okay.
so it's actually on that property. It's not on the house across the street.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's kind of at the end where they have some other little thing fenced off that they're doing activities there. They have a parking lot, and then I think it's just an adjacent piece that's not being used for much of anything. So I went and looked at it today and configured where it was. And it was nice that they sent visuals to see basically where
Yeah.
this
And it
false
looks like they're
water
gonna make it looks like they're gonna make it look like a water tower or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it said.
you
Yeah,
know.
I'm having trouble with all these links and everything, but I mean, I know where it is.
So Molly, I was afraid you'd have trouble with that. If you could get into the website, Larry did load them, the packages.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Oh, you're in the Google Drive and it's giving you a hard time?
Yeah,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
not sure what the problem is. I mean,
If you hit on something, it sends it up to a little place and you have to open up there.
that's
Mhm.
right. Okay,
Mine
let me
open.
try this again.
Anyway, my biggest thing is, and this was brought up, they wanted to put one on the real estate agent on the corner of Los
That-
Osos Valley Road and South Bay Boulevard.
Van
Oh, a
Buren.
long time ago, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that
Oh,
one.
and they brought the fire department down, and the fire department uses their signal for their first responders. And that sold me 908,000%. I've had to call on their services and just, gosh, to help the first responders do their job better. I don't see anything wrong with it. So again, putting up some cell towers, a cell tower behind the market there to get better service and connection.
Yeah, it seems like we always need better service in Los Osos than what we have. I'm not trying to be a complainer, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm-
Lindy, I see you got your hand up.
Yeah, this kind of takes me back to the era when we were, and Julie was involved too, with not wanting to see that cell tower in. And the early argument was that the cell towers are out on the edge of town towards whatever, above the cemetery up in the hills. That's where the existing cell towers basically are. And then Van Buren or
Yeah.
Rocky put one in at the golf course. So I see that that's one of what happens with cell towers. And, at this point, it's almost too late to go back and try to be more careful about our cell tower installations. But I was asking on the diagrams, they showed one at 8th and El Moro, I think.
it's probably on, is it on some of the equipment owned by the CSD?
I
No.
believe it's something
Yeah,
there, and it's real low. And everything that I've investigated and learned with these towers is that you want to have them up as high as you can because they kind of emit sideways. So when they're low, they're emitting to employees and people that live nearby. And so in the aftermath of I hate cell phones, and I think we have overdone it, I almost think this probably is not the worst place in the world to put one.
It is, yeah, it is 50 feet tall. So that's like as tall as, almost as tall as a 5-story building.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
looks like looks like a water tower.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna make it look real old fashioned. I haven't seen the pictures because I am having technical problems today.
it
But
looks like your traditional water tower out near a farmhouse or something. It's kind of metal
is-
structure.
yeah,
Which is
Yeah.
a weird thing because there's nothing agrarian about that part of town,
I agree.
you know?
but you know what, of all the, you know, cell towers disguised as something else, the water tower ones are, to me, are like the nicest looking ones. Most of the trees look like
Fake.
deeply fake unless
Yeah,
they're
that's
mixed
true.
in with heavy real trees.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
You know what I don't see in the visual simulations, and Larry, maybe we can make the note, is that if we could see if it's visible at all from Los Osos Valley Road over the grocery store.
Just
Okay.
it may just get
Well,
lost.
it's kind of downhill from there,
It
so
is, so maybe it's
yeah.
not seen, but if they could show us for sure, because it's
Yeah.
weird, I think.
And I have another question, which is these cell towers get put in by one company and we've got a lot of competition going. And so what I understand is that all of the cell towers do contracts with each other to let another carrier come on.
Yeah, co-locate.
Co-locate. And
Yeah,
and
that's
I don't
that's what a lot
want
of them do.
Verizon, I don't want to see Verizon have the upward opportunity to get all of our customers going Verizon when I want a fair play field for all of the competitors. Because I don't want to be in a one only situation, which Verizon has the best coverage, so therefore we're all stuck with it. So I don't know, even in the language that they put, where that addresses outside carriers being able to co-locate there. But that would be important to bring up and make sure that we don't just have Verizon taking over all of Los Osos, because we've got other carriers that have been really good and they've done their work to try to get, good reception. So anyway, I can see that it's almost too late to go against the damage that cell towers do to adjoining humans and animals and trees, but it is what it is. So, but I would like Verizon to not have sole control over that cell tower, because it is a control, because what it starts is the next cell tower group, and I don't know them by name, but they're gonna all say, well, we want one too. So, then we'll
So
proliferate.
really the big question then is, what is the industry standard? What are these various general providers doing? Are they sharing towers or not? And I think the answer is probably that most of them are. But yeah, it's kind of a general question about that. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I just like to
We could
ensure.
probably, and also maybe the planner on the project might know an answer to that question
Yeah,
too.
yeah, no, it's complicated stuff. So, but I would like to make sure that that is not just solely Verizon has a foot in the door, when we've got all these other providers that have been struggling and doing a fairly good job. We know Los Osos doesn't have good coverage, so.
So it sounds like so far we have 2 questions for them of, Larry, is there a way we can get further information, particularly if they weren't here to represent themselves?
Well,
Or do we ask the planner for that?
I think it would be good to direct them to the planner.
Yeah.
And that's Mason Denning, who's listed on the project here, but I will check with Claire on that. I guess the question is, do we need those answers before it leaves land use? Or do we want to send it on? I don't like holding things up. Send it on to LOCAC with, again,
With the
sending.
answers to the questions.
Well, I think Julie's question in particular would be something we might want an answer to before we approve anything and set it on. About the visual from Los Osos Valley Road.
Okay.
But do we need that answer? Can we get that
Well,
answer at LOCAC, or?
This
we want it
project just came through in November, didn't it? I
Which
think
is-
that we don't have to, I think we could say that we still need more information and
Yeah.
do a second review next month at our meeting and maybe have a representative explain those things that we are questioning about. So I, yeah, we'd like to see things move efficiently, but this is so fast that, and we have had an issue in Los Osos. There are other people that are very concerned about cell towers in Los Osos, and this hasn't even hit the streets. So
Okay,
I think we should just ask them to do a presentation next land use and just move it forward.
okay.
Yeah, including including a diagram that would show, the view shed kind of thing, or whatever you call that, from Los Osos Valley Road, considering
Okay.
it's 50 feet tall.
Yeah, Molly, can you email me those
Sure.
concerns? And then I will pass them on to Claire and try to get a representative here for our March 4th meeting.
Okay.
Did you want to open it to public comment before you kind of?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Any comment from members of the public? I don't see anybody raising their hand or smoke signals or carrier pigeons.
Hello, this is George Hankins. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
George.
Hi. Yes, I was an architect for 40 years and I support you all asking for this additional information on this request. I think it's very important that they provide the spectrum of cell tower appearances to be considered, because I know somebody said a tree, it kind of looks crazy without being in a forest of trees, but then again, something industrial looking doesn't look very good either. So I think we should find out the options available that they would do to make this not be obtrusive to the neighborhood.
So you're saying from sort of all angles, from like the
Oh,
different.
He's asking, like, you've seen them on windmills and trees, and so he's asking for all the different kinds of fake posts,
Infrastructure.
flagpoles, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we should be able to choose what we think is the community thinks what they would prefer to have.
Interesting.
Yeah, another point, I think. The one that's down at the CSD water yard, that thing is ugly as sin. It's not hidden. It's not, I was kind of shocked because I drove down to see what the heck it was, and it's
Did you
sitting
mean the one on 8th Street? Is
8th
that what you're
Street, yeah.
referring to?
Yeah, it's not very attractive. I don't even know when it was approved. I don't remember ever hearing
I don't
anything
remember
about it.
hearing about that.
It might have been put up a long time ago.
Hmm,
Not that long ago.
yeah,
Hmm.
because it didn't go through this process. That's
True.
interesting.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
might, I don't know why that was, but I wonder if it's a low one, if it was a height issue. 8th and El Moro is in a residential area, but it's kind of an industrial property.
It's right across from a school.
Yeah,
The fire department is not allowed to legally put cell towers on top because of the health effects to the firefighters. There is some, consideration to what the neighbors are exposed to. So that's why I say in where it's being proposed is probably not the worst place in Los Osos, but I don't want
Yeah.
Verizon to be the sole owner of that. I don't think that's a fair way to deal with our different providers. So I think it needs that, that's one thing I would ask, is that it definitely have a co mingling or whatever it's considered.
A LOCAC.
So that other carriers can also, use their business to improve communication. So
Yeah, we really do need better communications equipment out here. So yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, so I'll include that on the email that I'll send to Larry, and then he can send it to the Verizon or to the planner for the Verizon people.
Okay. So we're going to table this until we get some answers at our next meeting. If
Sounds
that's all from the public. And thank you, George.
Thank you.
Moving on to the next project. It's from Omni Design. And I see Jim's here. I'm going to ask him to unmute.
It's John McAlpin.
Okay, thank you, John. If you want to give us a brief little description of what the project is.
Well, as far as impact, this is an existing residence on the bay there at 688 Santa Lucia that has it's sort of a U or a horseshoe shape, if you will, with a U part of the center of the U being a covered patio. So it's already got a roof over it that's essentially like open beams. And they want to fill that in for a room.
Okay.
There you have it.
And very, very simple, very
Yeah,
forward.
it's already paved, it's already roofed, it's covered. It's just, they're basically going to add, if it's got 3 walls around it, one more wall on the east side, if you will, to enclose it as a space that will be used as a kid's recreation room or alternate as a guest room.
Okay.
I don't have the graphics if you need to pull up the plans for me. You know, it's pretty simple if you look at the plan.
Yeah, I did post the plans on our website. So
Okay,
then,
and so the only issue that no surprise, it's
I think you partly cut out there, John.
okay, I'll make sure I speak up so it's in the speaker. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, so the only issue that we came up with, no surprise, it's right on the very edge of a known archaeological site. You know, no surprise, the whole area is inhabited, particularly along the bay shore, by indigenous people. There were a few, if you will, studies done when they put in along that street that did discover artifacts in that area. And so our archaeological consultant we cut out a little section of the patio that's there now, had him take a look at it, determined that the site has been disturbed when the original residence was built, but not more than about a foot below the surface are some undisturbed soils. So our I guess mitigation or measures that we're going to take so that that existing undisturbed soils aren't disturbed is to cast a slab over that. It doesn't penetrate down below that depth. And again, because the structure is already there, we're not in a situation where we have to create any type of bearing footings. There's already a patio slab there. We're going to just take it out to make it level with the existing residence and make it a little bit thicker. That's really the only thing that we came up with on this.
So they're,
you're not going to destroy the existing concrete and re-pour it?
No, no, we will take that out, but our intent, what we're gonna do to follow the recommendations in the archaeological report is to place another slab there, and it won't go any deeper than what's already there.
Yeah,
You need to take the one that's out there because it's not at the same level as the residence.
Okay,
And it's got terracotta pavers over it, you know, it's just not suitable for a new slab. Would
Is
match.
that house built on a regular slab that sits
Yes.
on top of the soil? Okay,
Yes, it is.
okay. So you're just redoing, you're pulling out a slab that's there and putting in a new one right in the same location.
Yes,
Yeah,
being mindful not to disturb the native undisturbed
don't
soil.
dig it.
Some of the soil was already disturbed when they built the original house.
yeah, yeah.
That was really the only trick to this one. It's really kind of an infill architecture, if you will.
Yeah, that's what it looked like on the plans.
seems simple.
I didn't get a chance to see that project, but no plumbing, no nothing added.
No, in fact, there is a small bathroom added, but right next to it is a laundry room with plumbing that we're gonna be able to connect to. We're gonna share the wall with the laundry room. So the drain lines and the waste lines and everything are already existing.
So you are adding a bathroom?
Yes,
Okay. That's always a consideration around here.
yeah,
But it is allowed, isn't it, for an existing house? Is the county still allowing an additional bathroom to an existing single family residence?
yeah, there's no limit on the number of fixtures.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
They figure the water use, this was determined a while ago. The water use isn't gonna change in a single family residence, add another sink, toilet, etc.
It's just
The
convenient.
same number of people are using the same, just got more fixtures.
Well, you do have one extra place for more people, so. That's,
Are you just adding a toilet and a sink, or are you also incorporating a shower or?
It has a shower, but it is allowed by the county, by the building department.
of course.
So, yeah, so I don't know about if you want to do the public comment first, Larry, or have us talk about it.
Any questions that you have or comments you want to make, let's do that, and then I'll open it up to the public. And
Okay, well, I'll just start. I don't really have any comments or questions on it myself. Seems pretty straightforward. You're taking an area that was an outdoor patio that's within the floor plan of the footprint of the existing house and turning it into a room. So if the county's approves it, is willing to approve it, yeah, I don't see it having any impact on the neighborhood or that kind of a thing. So I don't have a problem with it.
okay. Any other comments from board members?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. Lindy?
My only problem is that we are trying to become sustainable with the water basin. And so adding one more room for more people and a bathroom to complement that additional person or persons is just concerning. I'm just gonna note it. I'll probably approve it, but inch by inch, we do have to consider the impact of a lot of leeway sometimes when we're trying to sustain our basin.
And it's possible, I don't know, but it's possible that as part of the county permit, they may make those people do some of the offset stuff. I don't know, but they might.
Seems like they should, just
Okay.
new fixture.
Any comments from any other board members? Just Julie, how about comments from the public? Anybody out there in the public want to comment on this project? I'm not seeing anyone raise their hand or anything else. Anybody like to make a motion on this project?
I will. I'll make a
Okay.
motion to, what do you call it, to approve or go forward?
Okay, it's support.
Support.
You support the project.
I'll second it.
Julie seconds it. All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Okay,
looks unanimous.
That's unanimous. Do we want to put it on the consent agenda or
Yes,
Yeah,
on the consent agenda then? At LOCAC? John, did you hear that?
Yes,
Okay, and that meeting is gonna be, what,
February
the fourth Monday.
fourth,
the 22nd?
22nd, February 22nd. It's the
So-
Thursday, that's LOCAC.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll put this on the consent agenda. You might want to chime in though, just in case somebody does want to make some other comment on it or pulls it from the agenda, but otherwise, sounds good to me.
okay, thank you, and I will most likely attend. It's been my experience that sometimes it gets misinterpreted and questions come up, and I do want to be able to represent my clients to make sure that everyone's clear what we're proposing.
That's
Okay,
smart.
thank you,
Yeah.
John.
Good idea. Thank you, John.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, well, that wasn't too bad.
Very good.
That wasn't too bad. So hopefully we'll hear back from Verizon and be able to get that moving along. Don't have any other projects right now. The Pratt thing, that's way in the future. That's like the Anastasi project, and just
Mhm.
certifying the map. When they start trying to put nails to the ground, I think that's when all these issues will come up and have to
Well,
be
I just
addressed.
didn't like, I don't like the layout. It disturbs, that's gonna go 12 acres off to the edge of
Yeah, but do
Rodman.
you remember their old one, Julie? They wanted it on both sides. That two of them off of Rodman, and then that other road that goes up and dead ends.
Alamo.
Alamo. They wanted to put two on that side.
Yeah, but
You know,
they also own all the way down at Vallejo, which is, not a great view from there. But that's a little dead end on the west side of Rodman. So
yeah, again, we can
there's
put it in
better
our
ways.
comments and see what they do with
Yeah.
it.
Well, no,
I think them trying to build there is almost impossible.
They probably will sell the lots and let somebody else struggle with the building
Go
of it.
with it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with Julie's idea that, getting fire and emergency exit and
Yeah,
enter.
it'll be interesting if they even accept this application, because there's certain dead end roads can only be so long, and I think Rodman already may push that, but CAL FIRE will speak to the project.
Mhm. Yeah. And I would love to see the open space. I mean, they're not going to build on any of that unless, we go into 2050 and there's tons of water in California. I mean, maybe we'll see,
There's super steep
but-
all in there too. It's expensive to build things
Yeah.
on the side of a hill.
and
Yeah,
that area
Kind
is
of
really
surprised
steep.
I'm surprised it's not been, some of it wasn't put into open space previously. I mean, they're paying taxes and everything on that land and must be expensive.
Well,
Yeah,
they'll get to
Molly-
mitigate with it.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
somewhere, and I don't remember where, but like the Anastasi project, there were plans for that whole building thing to go up higher and add another 100 homes to it.
Oh,
And-
Cabrillo,
Huh?
to make Cabrillo go up the hill.
Yeah. You,
Oh,
you,
wow.
you know,
oh,
which,
you mean higher up behind where Cabrillo ends now,
yeah,
of that?
yeah. You
Oh,
know, I think the coastal commission or they said, there's no way you're gonna ever do that. But there were plans somewhere, I've seen them,
Hmm. I
to
don't remember that.
carry the road up and add another 100 homes up there, which I can't imagine nowadays.
Not nowadays,
Yeah.
yeah.
thank goodness.
Well,
Yeah.
try getting fire insurance with those houses up there too. It's probably
Yeah.
getting very expensive.
Yeah, right now it looks good, but come August, be looking at fires.
So the other thing is, again, I've got that get together over here,
Yeah.
the 10th Saturday. If you folks can make it, so we can take a look at the new handbook, and just meet each other and see faces and
Hang out a little bit.
yeah,
What
it-
time?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, okay. Perfect.
And I'll send everyone an email with my address on it.
Okay.
I'll have some cookies and cheese or something, to nibble on. I was trying to do it after lunch, so I didn't have to serve everybody lunch.
Good idea.
Yeah. And so you're all welcome, and it's definitely casual, real casual. I'll lock the dogs up and
Mm.
should be nice. If it dries up at all, if it rains all
Yeah.
week, it's gonna be wet out there.
Yeah, it's raining right now.
Yeah. And one thing that we haven't really brought back up, but I think it's pretty important to start a conversation about the Sunnyside location. The school district wants to sell it for 5 million, and I think that is such a bargain. And for all the things that we don't have in Los Osos, that may be the best.
Where do you get the money, Lindy?
Well, as it was brought up, I think 49 million brought in on property taxes for Los Osos alone.
Yeah,
I would
but-
think they could dig up a little bit. And we haven't had anything since the park. The skate park was, what, 12 years ago?
Oh, longer. Yeah.
We've not had one penny put into our
Oh, I
parks or
agree.
anything.
I just
And
know
so
that
when it
they
goes
have a
into the
$22 million deficit. There's no money for anything.
yeah, it's because of their salaries, but when it goes into the general fund and doesn't get redistributed, remember Lynn Compton made a big stink about how much money disappeared out of Napomo with all the development,
Mhm.
and they never got their parks. And when she put her foot down and started asking for it, it came.
Yeah.
And so they got their parks. We don't have the parks. And,
No.
again, I think if they got 49 million in taxes from us, because they've gone up a ton since whatever the skate park, we have some position to sort of say, help us, get some grant money. This could happen. There's so much potential there. So anyway, I just throw it
Yeah.
out because
Yeah,
I think that,
I think we need to keep talking about it and
well, it's
figure
gonna
out what
disappear before our eyes if nobody raises a hand and says, hey, Los Osos could use that. We got to generate. Julie and I had a thing we called Sunny Side Up.
We did.
And that was our
Yeah.
idea, was to take it over and put in Alzheimer's patients with children. I mean, we thought of all those different schoolrooms being used for just really great things in the ball field, and then
And the library.
the library could go there. It could have been
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and the auditorium could have been turned into a community theater and movies twice a week, or
Lots of ideas.
yeah, there's so much potential there. I just think that we all need to be thinking with land use. The school district wants to sell it. The county doesn't want to, they're too poor. But we've gotten kind of nothing for so many years. I think this is an opportunity to kind of say, hey, this is logical. It should come to the community. We paid for the other school out of our taxes, so if you're going to shut this one down, just let's figure out a way to do it. So
yeah. Okay, very good. So if anyone doesn't have anything else, let's call it a day, a night.
Good
And,
night,
uh,
everybody.
And
Adjourn.
Larry, I will get you that email tonight.
okay,
About-
thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Molly.
thank you.
Thanks, Molly, for being the backup secretary. You did good.
Yeah,
All right. Have a good
And-
night,
All right, thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Okay.
okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night.